Exciting news out of the world of NASCAR. San Diego to host NASCAR on the streets of an active naval base, Naval Base Coronado, Father's Day weekend, June 21st, 2026. It's going to be a full weekend of action. We have trucks, Xfinity, the Cup Series. I have so many questions from track design to how in the heck did NASCAR end up at a naval base, and what a year to do it, the 250th anniversary of the Navy. To answer some of those questions, we're going to be joined today by Ben Kennedy, the Executive Vice President, Chief Venue and Racing Innovation Officer. Well, Ben, thanks for joining me. Big day, exciting news. Listen, I'm just going to jump right in. This has to be an exciting day for just NASCAR. An event like this must take forever, it seems, to plan. How is it exciting to finally announce it and let everybody know what you've been working on?
It's good. I'm honestly surprised, Steve, have been able to keep this under wraps for this long. But a huge day for us, and we've proven over the past several years been able to take NASCAR racing to new markets, do things like build a temporary short track inside the LA Memorial Coliseum. Saw Bowman Gray this year. We had our first ever street race in downtown Chicago in 75 years for our sport. This is our second street race, and it's our next evolution in the schedule for 2026. So excited to announce that we're going to be having a race on the base in Coronado next year, June 19th to 21st, in celebration with the 250th anniversary of the Navy and 250th anniversary of our country. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, a once in a generation moment, and it's going to be special come next summer. Can't wait to be back out here for it.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I was lucky enough to be a part. The Navy has this distinguished visitors program where we get to fly out and we stay on a carrier for the overnight. And the amount of NASCAR buzz on that carrier, just walking around, people that recognize me, Adam Alexander. Now we got dwarfed a little bit because we had Fitzpatrick from our Amazon coverage on the NFL. So, of course, everybody knows him. But I want to know, how does this come up? What whiteboard does somebody write Naval Base San Diego on where the next place to race? How does this even get dreamt up?
Yeah, so it's a good question. We have a scheduling group that meets on a weekly basis, and they're both thinking about, hey, where do we want to go in the future? What are those big, bold, crazy ideas, kind of the moonshot goals that we have? And then we also sit down and we're playing in real time with Excel sheets of, all right, we got some feedback from track partners or broadcast partners, whatever it might be, and building out the schedule in real time. And this actually came up from one of the people that was on that team a few years ago of, hey, what about the idea of racing on a military base, just in general?
Wow.
And we had the idea, and we didn't know if it was going to be an Army base, Marine base, Navy base. And over time, we had looked at a number of different bases. We had a small working group that was separate of this that was just looking at the Southern California market in general. We had the race at the LA Memorial Coliseum, and Dave Allen and Amy Lupo helped spearhead that. And they looked at a number of different opportunities here in the Southern California market. And we eventually went to Coronado, and hands down, it was one of the best places we could be at. I mean, the location being in San Diego, close to Mexico, close to Los Angeles, a large metro market, and a really strong military core down here. We felt like it was just such a good location for us. And honestly, a lot of the conversations that we've had with Captain Wookie and the entire team down here have been just tremendous from the start. So they've been great partners. I know they're going to be great partners in helping us get ready. 11 months from now, it's hard to believe that we're going to be having a race there that soon. But it was one thing that led to another, and we've been working on this for, I bet, the better part of 2 years at this point. So it's great to finally be able to talk about it publicly. We have to talk about this stuff under wraps internally for quite a while, but now we get to share it with the world, which we're looking forward to.
Well, if you're a NASCAR fan that gets most of your racing through the broadcast partners, you mentioned it. So the trucks will be on the network of Fox. We'll have Xfinity on CW. I'm selfish because the Cup race will be on Amazon. I'll be on the coverage on Amazon Prime. But for those that go, and I'll say this, even as a TV guy, there's nothing like a race in person. If you've never been, go.
Yes.
There's nothing like it. But I have a quote in the release here. I thought this was an amazing quote. The Secretary of the Navy said, quote, "We're proud to open our gates to the American people, honor those that serve, and inspire the next generation." So for the fan that wants to attend, because it is on a naval base, It's open, right? You buy tickets, they go for sale in the fall, like a normal, I hate to say normal, but like any other event, you can be on the base. There might be some security or something, but fans can attend the weekend.
Yes, fans will be able to attend the weekend. Absolutely. We're gonna have a military day on Friday, so
Oh,
we'll have a lot of folks out there for the truck race on Friday, which is going to be great to see. And then fans can come the whole weekend. So NASCARSanDiego.com, you'll be able to learn more. We'll go on sale with tickets later this fall. And the cool part about, I know we're not talking about the actual track layout yet, that will come later this fall as well. But I think the fans are gonna have, it'll be a really interesting experience because we're creating different neighborhoods and different opportunities for them to explore different areas around the base, whether that's more so on the base side, be able to see some carriers, or out on the tarmac side and see a lot of the aircrafts and vehicles that the Navy uses in Coronado. So kind of gonna have these different neighborhoods and these different experiences that fans will be able to go out and just experience throughout the weekend, which I think is going to be really cool to see as it all comes together.
I mean, look, I had never been to San Diego. We talk about nice weather, beautiful area of the country. I mean, I see now what the sunshine in 70. That's like the joke. I mean, the place is amazing. So you mentioned track. I'm not going to ask you for the actual design. I know it's not out yet, but Chicago, I was a bit of a skeptic. I didn't know how it would race. I couldn't have been more wrong. It raced amazing for trying to figure out how to put a track on the streets of Grant Park. I know that was, in your title says innovation officer. I know that was done tremendous amount virtually with iRacing and teams and drivers and all these things. So I know the answer is what it looks like isn't out yet, but tell me about the process. Like, how are you guys figuring out the track itself?
Yeah, so it's a good question, and iRacing has been great partners with us. We worked with them on the first renditions of the Coliseum. We had them go and laser scan the streets in Chicago to be able to really develop that track in real time. And then they also came out several months ago to capture just the overall vision of the entire base.
Yep.
Really, where could we race? Where could we not race? And you'll see once we start to put the track together, there are roads that they will be racing on. So there's not a ton of flexibility there. And then there are also wide open spaces. Like when they go out onto the tarmac, we'll be able to kind of dream up a little bit of what we want, both from a fan experience perspective and then keeping in mind the racing product. So, iRacing we've been collaborating on. They already have the track model built out. We've had a handful of drivers that have jumped on this track, have given us a lot of really good feedback on, hey, this looks really good. We think these sections are going to be smooth with no issues. A couple of bumpy sections we'll probably have to address. And then as we talk about that tarmac session, really, it's a blank canvas for us to create whatever we want. So I've had a few drivers on it. I imagine after the announcement, we'll have a few more that will want to jump on it as well. And then really start to finalize the track design. Obviously, once we have the track in place, we'll locate where grandstands go, suites go, a lot of the hospitality areas and experiences for fans, and then we'll have that final track layout. But it's a great collaborative process, and again, to be able to have a partner and a resource like iRacing, where we can literally dream up these concepts years in advance. They can use their system to be able to build out these tracks that have a lot of validity behind them, and then to be able to put the drivers on it and test it in real time and give us feedback makes this process so much easier. So, kudos to them too.
Well, you mentioned partners. Sports San Diego is a partner in this, and obviously the Navy themselves. But I want to pat you guys at NASCAR. How proud are you that on the 250th anniversary of the Navy, I mean, the event itself is one thing, but to think that this year and what it means and the amount of hopeful patriotism we can then show off to our fan base and what we can do just from an entertainment, show up and entertain for an entire weekend. How proud of you of you mentioned it. This has been a growing thing about being able to bring the sport I love. It's the only sport I know. I've grown up in it. I love the fact we can bring it places and to people that otherwise may not be able to see it in their backyard.
I agree. Yeah, we can bring it to anywhere in the world, and we've proven out over the past several years. I mean, we can have races on short tracks, on ovals, on road courses. We had a race on a dirt track for a couple of years at Bristol. We had a race at the LA Memorial Coliseum inside of a stadium. We had street races, and now we're going to have it on a military base. And I think it, to your point, it proves that we can compete anywhere in the world. And we've been able to put on some amazing races as well. And, there were there were a lot of skeptics, even internally, about how the racing product in Chicago would play out. And we walked away from the race this past, a couple weekends ago, and we said this probably is the best street course. You think about the location, think about the backdrop, and then the racing product on top of it. We think it's the best street course race in the world. And I think once we go to the military base here in Coronado, it's going to have a lot of those same properties. I mean, a great location being in downtown San Diego, an amazing backdrop with the city. And then you talked about as well, all of our ties that we have with the military. We are a very American-centric sport, and there are a lot of synergies between us, former military, current military, and future military. And it'll be great to be able to not only have an event at a base, but be able to respect and honor everyone that has served and is going to serve in the future around this event. And it's going to be even more special being on the 250th anniversary.
It's going to be a big time. Ben, thanks for joining us. Guys, it's less than a year away. It's going to be here before you know it. Father's Day weekend, 2026. For the second time in NASCAR history, we're going to find a street course. This time, we're going to go from the streets of Chicago all the way out to the military base, Coronado in San Diego. I'm with you. I went out there. I can't imagine what the sights, sounds, and the view of that whole Bay Area in San Diego is like nothing else. So it's great news. Appreciate you taking the time.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Steve.